Okay. So the other day we were discussing about date time, and other thing is, so date time dot now gives current date and time. Similarly, using datetime dot datetime followed by, we gave there the year, the month and day. So with that we get user defined date. The first one is here, the system date, and the second one here it is user defined date. This is giving you current date and time from the system. Okay. And when it comes to line number 24, here we use datetime constructor, and for that we pass year, month and day. In two different ways we could create here date. But sometimes what happens, we have a string, so using that string we need to create a date. At times that is needed. Okay, we have to create a date using in our own way. Here we require year, month and day, but we may create sometimes month as the first component, day as the second component, year as third component, or first it is day, then month, then year, depending on the culture. If you look at American culture, month is the very first component we use. But when it is European, British time, then we use day first, then followed by month and year. In the same way, if you try to use the Latin kind of thing, in that case, year, month, and day. Like that, depending on the culture, we use dates. Now, what we do, we create a date object from the string. A string is available in whatever fashion you want to create a date that can be created. For that, what we use a new function called strp time. We use a function called strp time. Using that, we can create our own date. Okay, so here we create our own date using date time. We pass year, we pass month, then we pass day. Now, in the similar way, I want to create a new date time. So for that, I would like to pass a string either in the mmddyy notation or ddyymm notation. In either of these two notations, I should create. Here we are passing simply the year, the month and day. We are passing three numbers, year, month and day. But now I would like to create a date using the other way. Okay. So for that purpose, I create a new file. This is what a Python file again we use. So very first thing, in order to work with the date and time, we need to import date. Date time, we have to import. Okay, we are importing date time. The next thing, I want to input, that means I don't enter from keyboard, but I pass here a string with which I can create here a new date. So here I write dt is nothing but an identifier I create. Then I write date time dot, I go with the strp time. So we have a function called strp time. So this is going to create a date for us from the given format. We specify certain format. So as per that format, it's going to create a date for us. Okay. So first thing we need to specify here some date string. In what format exactly we want to put date, we put. Here I would like to go this way. Date string I specify first. The date string is here. First I go with the month. So the month is 06. Then followed by, I want to go with the day. Day is 17. Then I would like to go with the 2021. Now I would like to use the format for this. The format I use here is month, day and year. Okay, I specify this kind of format. This can be %m, then %d and %y I can use. So using %d, %m, %d and %y, I would like to format the given string here. So this has to convert the given string. String is in the 06/17/2021. I specified this is the date string. This I would like to convert into here a date. Now let us go to this point and print dt. So what it prints, let us see in this. So this is taking first argument as date string, then followed by using some format string, we convert the given date string into date. So with this syntax, now I would like to convert with this mechanism or with this function strp time. I want to convert the given date string into a valid date. Okay, now let us run this. Just go to file and save as. Date time, new example. I write the file name. Then save this here. After that, I should go to command prompt. Then at the command prompt, I change it to yes G drive. Then here it is Python. I put it as CSV. There is a folder called CSV. So in that CSV file, I have this. Now I would like to interpret Python followed by date time new example, say here .py. So what it says 06/7/2021, when I say, it says there is nothing like strp time. There is no attribute, it says here. It's probably we need to go with the date time dot date time. Okay, now with that we get so it says here unconverted data remains 21, it says. So most recent call dt equal to datetime dot strp time, that was error. But whenever we go in this way, it's giving this kind of error for us. Let us change it. I remove the space. Then here also I remove the space. Then try to convert it. So still it says there is error. Fine. Now instead of, since we don't know how exactly to use, here I comment it. First I want to find out what are the methods available with the date time. For that purpose, I go with the print statement, then followed by I use a dir command, then here date time. So like this, I want to print all the attributes of date time. Whatever methods available in the date time, I would like to print here. I'll go with this. Whatever attributes are available, that I would like to print from with this. Okay. Now come to this point, then print it. All these are nothing but they are the attributes of the given date time class. You can see all these are nothing but various attributes we have in this. These can be called as attributes, and some of them are actually here even functions. One is what? strf time, other one is strp time. Then in this weekday we have, year we have. All these are nothing but the attributes of the given date time dot date time. Okay, so using dir command, whatever attributes are available, you can print. This helps us sometimes. Otherwise, when you look at any class, you don't know what functions are available in that. So functions are here nothing but is ISO weekday, max, microsecond. So here some of them are functions and some of them are actually what? Normal state. That is nothing but we say as attributes. So like this we have actually, with the help of the dir command, you can find out whatever attributes are available with a given class. Not only with this, even with others you can try. So instead of trying with the date time, you can even print here, write dir, then followed by str you can put. Sorry, this is dtr I gave. Instead of dtr, I go with the dir. So when we save this, here I run this, what it says, first one it is showing for the date and time. Next one it's going for the string also. From here it starts. So in the string also this many methods are available for us, like replace method, okay, remove suffix, remove prefix, partition, make trans. So like this you have various methods in the string with which string manipulation can become easy. So now our requirement is we need to convert the given date and time here. So whatever string we specify, that has to be converted into proper string. So using strp time, we should convert that particular thing, but it was giving error. Again, let us try here. So let us go to this point. Once again, uncomment this here. So we are writing date time equal to date time dot strp time. Then we specify here, okay, like I specify this way. Then in this, I can put %m slash, okay, so here it's not required, %m, I give a space, %d, I give a space, then I can go with the %y. Now I remove the spaces in between them. Okay, so what happens with this? This should convert the given date. Okay, now let us run that. It is printing here 2021 6/17, and you have minutes, hours, minutes and seconds like empty, that is. We don't have anything, so at midnight it takes. Since we haven't given time component in that, we just gave only the date component. In that you have year, you have month and you have day. But when you look at the time, hour, minute and second, we don't have anything. So therefore it is giving us here, actually, I mean only midnight. Because if you look at the code, we never specified that. We just gave month, day and year. Then after that we specify this format. Suppose if I give here small y, why this gives error? Reason I'll tell you. Once run this and tell. It gives error because small y meaning is what? It is only 2 digits of the year. It has to take only 21. It cannot take 2021 in that case. Suppose you remove 20 now in this. Try to run this. So this time you may get, see, 2021 6/17. Like this time you are getting it. Because I have used here lowercase y. So lowercase y gives you always only last two digits of the number. It doesn't give actually the century. It gives only the last 2 digits. 20 is nothing but century, 21st century, that is. So we don't specify, we here, since we gave %y, the 21 cannot be 2021 cannot be converted. So therefore that was giving error. But when you put only 21, this is getting converted. Understood this point? Here, when I gave just 21, I
Yes.
should specify %y, lowercase y. But when you put 2021, this must be uppercase.
Uppercase. Yeah.
Okay. So in such cases, that can convert properly. Now, next thing, what we do here in this example, we try to take the year, all the hours, minutes, and seconds. Also, we try to put. So go with the %h, then colon, then I say %m. This must be uppercase because %m when you take lowercase, sorry, not here. So I should specify here somewhere. I give a space, then I put %h, then say %m, then other thing is here %s. Okay, I try to give lowercase s. What will happen? Let us see. Now here it is 8. So therefore, I specify this as 08. The next thing is minutes. Sorry, it's not 8, 7. Then I say this as time is like 50. Then I put this as 20. Now, in such cases, whether this converts or not, let us check. If it's not converting, there can be problem with the yes there. So what it says here, S is a bad directive in format. It says here, value error, S is a bad directive. Therefore, change it as uppercase S. Now it is giving 7, 50 and 20, it's giving. See, no one can write error-free code. This point we have to remember always whenever we write code. But whenever, if any error is cropping up, we should be in a position to fix. In order to fix, very first thing you need to keenly see what the output is given as error there. That we need to understand. But normally, programmers, they ignore that. They keep on trying with different things without exactly understanding what the error is. They try to, work on changing something, some piece of code they change. Luckily, sometimes it works. So when it's working, they think that is correct. But without understanding the problem, if you try to give a solution, it is wrong solution. It may work sometimes, but that cannot be correct approach. We need to understand always the requirements. Okay, whenever you get errors, what is the cause of error? Then appropriately, if you handle, in the future, you don't get such errors repeatedly. So for that purpose, we need to see clearly why it is causing error, where it is error, because the error description is verbose. They say clearly. So much they are saying there actually. They say clearly. So therefore, carefully, we need to read that and we need to understand. Then accordingly, we have to solve the given problem. So now in this, what happened? We have converted the given string into required format. Here we are converting 6, 17, 20, 21, followed by we gave there the hour component, minute component, and second component. To convert that, we need to use this format string. With that, we could convert. Okay, so here the function what we use is strp time. See, often we use function or method. In the interchangeable manner we use. Method normally we use in the object-oriented programming. When you work with C# or Java, there we have a concept called class. Here also we have same class concept. Okay, but the beauty of Python is you can develop procedural language, a procedural based application. You can develop object-oriented application. You can develop even functional language application also here. The Python works as a procedural language, object-oriented language, and other one is a functional language. Lisp is a functional programming language. Okay, similarly we have F#. That is a functional programming language. They are basically different. Functional languages are different from the imperative languages. The language what we use, C, C++, Java, C Sharp, all these are imperative languages. Okay, so even C++, you may go with the object-oriented approach, still that is imperative language. But if you look at lists for F Sharp, they are not actually imperative, but they are functional programming languages. So that is a different concept actually. In the case of functional programming language, we rely heavily on the functions. Function means not C sharp function here. Whatever C sharp function we use, that concept is different. This concept is different here. Or whatever Python function we use here, this concept is different from the, functional programming language function. So in that, we don't change the state. See, whenever some instructions are getting executed in C, C++, Java, Python, what happens? The state changes. State meaning is what? Internally, the variable values, they change. Okay, so that happens in the imperative languages. But in the program, in the functional programming language, that does not happen. So now in this, what exactly we do here, I was saying about method and function. Often we use them in the interchangeable way. Sometimes we say function, sometimes we say method, but the meaning is same. When we use something like object, in that case, if we use method, it's appropriate. Otherwise, if we use something like C language, in such case, we need to say function. Okay, so here we have strp time, a method. With that, we could convert the given date string into concerned date object using certain format string, %m, %d, %y, %h, %m, and %s. Now what I do, I try to use some other variable dt1, but in this I try to change the format. I want to change the format here. So here it is d I take, and here I would like to take m. Okay, but here I can use this one as 17. If I take, that gives error because 17 cannot be converted to month. So here I put this as like 6 only. Okay, so this is going to be 6 6, and after this I want to print it. Print, then put here dt1. So this prints the date. dt1, it's going to be printing, but in the first case it is 2021, then 6 and 17. But here we print it prints 2021 6 6. So the first one is 17 June, the next one is actually 6 June. Like that, it's going to print. Okay, so we changed the format here. What it says there, in the first case 2021 06 17, but here it says 2021 06 06. That means here we converted using ddmmyy format. In the earlier case, we were using mmddyyy format. This format is different from this format. Here first component is day, next is month, next is year, like this. Suppose same 17 I put here. Now what happens? See, this is definitely exception. 17 cannot be converted to month. We don't have any month like 17 in that. We don't have 17 month. We have only 12, 1 to 12. So therefore, that gives error for us. What it says here? It says time data 6, 17, 20, 21, 7, 50, 20 does not match format %d, %m, %y, because the 17 is nothing but representing month. 17 cannot be converted to month, therefore it's error. If you look at this, 17 is what? This is month, but we don't have any month like 17. 1 to 12 only you can have in that. If you put any value up to 12, that's fine. So that can convert the given string into appropriate date now. So this time it's printing 2021, 12 and 6. So like this, you can create your own date also with a specified format string. sometimes you need to create such things. You may have to generate something. So in such cases, you can use strp time. With that, you can create your own date and time. Okay. Now, one more important concept is timestamp. So timestamp is basically, sometimes what happens, we are uploading some file. At what file exactly the file is getting uploaded, somewhere you need to save. Okay. So how it has to be generated automatically? How it can generate? You can use datetime.now, or else we can go with the timestamp. So datetime.now is a little bit crude. In the case of event handling, automatically something has to be generated. So in such cases, you can use timestamp mechanism. So that can give you current date and time again. That can give you current date and time. So timestamp will not wait for any time there. Immediately, it can give you the current timestamp. When something has to be entered automatically, particularly you are uploading a video, at what time video is uploaded, so you don't have time to create that particular date time object, and you cannot take those values and insert, because by the time the object is created, by the time you retrieve values from the date time component, it will be time getting elapsed. So instantly, because the videos may be getting uploaded by many people simultaneously, they may upload. So in such cases, what happens, you are not going to save exact uploaded date and time, so it's going to be changing. So therefore, we have to use, in such cases, time span. If you create on your own a time, then if you retrieve values and save, that's going to be time consuming, some milliseconds latency you get. To avoid such thing, you can use timestamp. Okay, so timestamp is basically set of characters. It is nothing but a set of characters, or it is some information which is encoded, and we use it when some events get fired. Whenever some events are getting fired, at the time we have to use this. So that can give you date and time of the following day. Okay, so it can even give you accurately in the microsecond part also. So in milliseconds also it can give you the accuracy. So timestamp we can use automatically. Timestamp can be given to you. So whenever some event is getting fired, or whenever something is getting saved, or whenever somebody is getting logged in, so in such cases, at what time they have logged in. So for that purpose, once they log in, if you create date time component, then after that if you retrieve values and write, further some time is required. To create object, it takes time. Similarly, what happens, to retrieve value from that, it takes time, and to send to server also it takes time. So therefore, they are going to be time consuming, and it is going to have some milliseconds latency. So in such cases, with the help of the timestamp, very quickly you can do the required thing. Okay, so we have a timestamp component. With the help of that, we can actually do it. So it is part of time. So this is basically part of time. We have actually date time as well as time. We have two namespaces. Okay, so either date time we can use or time we can use. With the help of that, you can get actually the timestamp. Okay, so we can get the timestamp from that. Now I have taken here date time. This time what I do, I go with the time also namespace or module. Import time, I say here. Then followed by here, print. I write this here, timestamp. Okay, I go with the timestamp here. Then here we put time dot timestamp. So that can give us current date and time, including milliseconds. Okay, so what are the attributes available? We'll try to find out for that. So print I give like this, dir, then time. Okay. When I go with this, it's giving many things in this. So if you go with the, how many we are getting total? Second one and third one, this is. Okay. But it should not say anything like is lower, is upper. Okay. Get warnings, set attributes, find format. I'll just write just upper. You're getting those things. What exactly? Okay. So I comment this. So first I try to print. At last I print this one. Attribute I want to print at last. Now even this is not required for us now. I just comment it. Just execute this. So this is actually various attributes available in this. So we don't have anything like timestamp in this. We don't have any timestamp. So therefore, let us try here this way. Print, just we say timestamp. Okay, just try to print it. Again, it's saying like timestamp not defined. Probably time dot vc. Even this is a function, it's not available. So therefore we go with the right date time dot timestamp, date time dot now, then dot, otherwise date time dot date time dot we say timestamp. This is a method. So let us print that. It's just saying right method. Okay. Then in this we go with the function like this. It's not available even here. Needs an argument, it says. Okay. We need to pass certain arguments in this, in that whenever we go with the timestamp. So what argument? Fine. I'm doing something wrong, I think, in this. Anyhow, so here, remove this. I try to write cur stamp equal to, just write it as date time dot date time dot now. I go with the now in this. Now from this, cur stamp, and then in this is timestamp. Like this I use. Now I want to print it. Print so from the current date and time you can get date stamp. It is even giving you in the milliseconds accuracy. We can get accuracy even in milliseconds. So it is available with the datetime object. First we created here in the line number 10 a datetime object, datetime.datetime.now. This can give you current date and time. So from the current date and time, it prints for us here exactly with the milliseconds. Now let me print here, print, then current stamp I put like this. So difference we can see here, timestamp cur, and with we can see in this case here. So in the first case, it is giving you, say here it is giving 710 5.788989, but this is giving you here some number. Whenever we go with this, it's giving some number. And once again, see here, the last one is stamp cur we have given. So it is converting the given current time to timestamp, and when you print it, it's giving you here in this manner. You have some sequence of numbers. Here also you have some sequence numbers. They are encoded in certain format, but here it's showing you milliseconds also equally. This shows you milliseconds equally, but this is what some encoded number. In the left side, whatever we have is nothing but encoded number, but milliseconds are shown exactly here. Okay, so this part is getting encoded for us. We don't have anything like 2021, you cannot see them. This is some number generated from the, it's basic, I think it is from 1 I think it is from 110. That means after BC, very first year, since then it has calculated some number. So that number is coming up here when you go with the current timestamp. This is nothing but current timestamp we use here, timestamp we use. So it is generating such big number. So that number is coming up here in the here on the screen. 16238940005 is a number which is encoded in a particular fashion, in a particular format. Okay, so this we can save in the database easily rather than taking the datetime in that format and converting. So this timestamp can be saved as a number. That can be very easy. And whenever you get it back, at that time you can convert into normal date and time. So this is the advantage with the, I can say this is the advantage with the current, this timestamp. So you can save the timestamp in this manner. It is in an encoded format like a number it is. It's a floating point number. So in the fractional part we have seconds, milliseconds, but in the left side it is totally encoded. So that encoded string, it looks like a string but not exactly string. It is going to be some number. So like this will be getting saved in the database, and whenever you retrieve it back at the time, that can be formatted as per the requirement and it can be displayed. So we have one mechanism, is nothing but timestamp. Whenever some events are getting fired at the time, this can be used. So we have used here timestamp from the date as well as time. So from date time we used this particular thing. Okay, so we'll discuss more on this. Some examples I try to give you later on with the timestamp. But you think that right now you think timestamp is available here within the datetime say module as well as with the time module. The next thing what we discuss is some calendar we discuss. Okay, see, when we get connected to some database, at that time I will give you appropriate example and how to use timestamp. Okay, right now I cannot give good example because whenever certain events are firing, at the time you can save them in the database, and at the time you feel, you can understand easily that particular thing. Right now it is giving some number. What is the use of it? You may think that way. But whenever we save somewhere in the database, when some events are firing, it looks very appropriate. So I'll give you example at the time. Now what other thing we see is calendar. There is one more here module called calendar. So using calendar, you can actually print the calendar. Entire calendar for month we can print. For entire year also we can print a calendar. So there is one namespace called or module called calendar. So using calendar we can print calendar on the screen. Now I'll show you that. పేపర్లు ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు పెడుతున్నారు? Okay, so this is basically a calendar namespace, or I say a module. Now come to this piece of code, then here I import calendar. So I'm going to import calendar. Then after this, I just want to create a new calendar object. Okay, I can create here a new calendar object. With that, we can print that particular calendar on the screen. Okay, so here I go with the print, then say calendar dot, we have a calendar method, then dot, I write here month, so we don't have that. Then this is calendar dot month, we have, it's a method without creating object. Okay, this is nothing but belongs to class. It's not actually related to object, but belongs to class. Then here in this, I want to put like month, and I want to put here month as well as some year. So I just put 2021 followed by, I put 6. So what this prints, see on the screen. So it is printing calendar for June 2021. So it's showing you the calendar. June 2021, it is showing you here. In the calendar format, we can get on the screen, this one. Okay, so we have a namespace called calendar. So from the calendar class, the method what I use is, this is a method which is belonging to class. Okay, not to the object. Here if you go with the CURSTAMP timestamp, this is belonging to the concerned object, because we created object, then with object we are using. So this is what it is called an instance method, whereas with calendar when we use, it is belonging to class. This can be called as a class level method. This is what here instance level method, because first we created instance of the datetime object, then on that we are using. So this method is what object method, and this you can call as here class method. The methods without getting, I mean all those methods without requiring any object using class name, if you can execute, such methods are called as static methods or class level methods. But here this is what instance method timestamp is, but when you go with the month, this is actually class level. At the class level, we are creating object. Sorry, at the class level, we are calling the method. We don't create any object. At the class level, we call the method. That method is what here month. 2021 we gave, then we gave 6. So here for June, it's printing here. For June 2021, it's actually printing the calendar. So when you look at the screen, it prints like this. June 2021, it's printing. So you can see normally calendar gets printed in the same manner. So here for the given month, we are printing. Even future thing also, if you want to print, it can be printed. 2021 I don't take. So 20, I take this as 99 in the 6th month. How that is going to be? Try to run this. It gives you June 2099. So Monday like this is going to show calendar for us. So using this calendar, we can print a calendar. Not only just 1 month, this can print even entire year for us. If you want to print entire year, this can print entire year for us. So for that purpose, we need to use some other mechanism, like year we need to give, then followed by how much width you want to have between columns you need to specify, how many blank lines between rows you want to have. Okay, how much space you want to have between the 2 rows, you can specify that. So we write this way. This is for printing entire year. Print, then calendar, we put here The very first thing is what? We need to go with the year in this. So I give 2021. The next thing is how much space I want to have between the columns. I give this one space. Now, how many blank lines we require between the rows? I just give one. Okay. How much space is required between 2 months? I want to give some 6 spaces, or just I want to give one space. Then similarly, okay. So other thing is here, how many rows we require. So here also we put something like, okay, in a month, how many rows we require? I just give here this as 3. So in the row, it's going to give you 3 months. When we run this, okay, did something here, calendar, I should write, fine. Now when we run, it's going to print like this. So total, we are putting here 3 months. We are going to put 3 months. April on the top also we have, I think. Just a minute, screen. Okay. So if you go, it's giving January, February, March, April, May, June. So it is printing actually 3 months in one row. In a row, how many we have total? 3 months it's going to be printing. Then after that, we have actually space between the columns. Between any two columns, how much space it is? One space I have given. Similarly, what is the space between two rows? Only one space I have given like this. Okay. So similarly, how much space between the 2 months? Only one space I have given. So that's why they are coming actually very closer. But if I change here, suppose I go with here some 3 spaces here. Now it is going to be widespread. And here I want to put actually 4. I want to go with the 4 months, 4 months in a row. Now, once again, let us print this. How many we are getting this time? 4 we are getting. January, February, March and April we get. Okay. And here, what is the other space or how much? If you look at the code, this is what we specified here, 3. 3 spaces we gave there between the 2 months. We have 3 spaces between the months. We gave actually 3 here. So if you look at the output, you have certain space between them. You are going to have space. So between months, it's taking actually 3 space. Whereas between the two, say, rows, there is 1 space, it's getting printed. So for one row, we have total 4 columns in this. So this is exactly calendar followed by year you need to specify. Then we specify width between the 2 columns. Okay. Then after that, how much space between the 2 months we need to specify. Then how much space you want to have between the 2 lines, how many blank lines you want to have, you need to specify. Then similarly, how many months in a column, in a row you want to show. We are showing here 4 months in a column, in a particular row. Like this 4 months are coming, January, February, March, April, like this is getting formatted. Similarly here, if I go with the blank lines, how many I want to put here? Put some 3 blank lines between the rows. We can see now how this looks. Lot of space we are getting in this case now. Between the rows, we have lot of space. Okay, so much space we are having in this case, it is not looking nice. Since I gave actually more space. So if I go with the 1, that would be really good here. Okay, so it is not there actually. It must be somewhere here. Here I need to specify that. Then in such cases, I'm going to get correct format. So whenever we go with the calendar, first thing is year. We take year component. then followed by space between the two columns. Okay. Similarly, after that, uh, how many blank lines you want to put between the rows? Only one blank line. Similarly, how much space between the 2 months? One space we require between the 2 months. Similarly, how many months in a row? I have taken 4. If I go with the 6, it is going to print only in 2 rows all the required months. So horizontally, it is going to be showing here, but it is widespread because space is not enough. That's why they are getting congested sometimes. So taking 6 is not the correct option because screen is not enough. I go with the 2. In such cases, we get actually 6 rows in this. We get here 6 rows. So in 6 rows, it's going to be printing total. You can see. Start from beginning. So here it should print in 2 rows, 6 rows. First row, second row, then we have third row, fourth row, then fifth row and sixth row. Like this in 6 rows. So for every column we have 2 months. Like this is actually getting printed. This is a calendar component we use here. So calendar module we have imported. Then after that we are working on the calendar like this. So here we have used calendar. With this, I have demonstrated few things in this.